You are now listening to For All Nerds Show, a podcast about geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color. For All Nerds is hosted by DJ Ben Amin and Tatiana Keene Jones. For All Nerds Show is a member of the Loudspeakers Network, where we always say rest in peace to our founder, Combat Jack.
For All Nerds Show is powered by our listeners. Everything we do, from our podcasts, live events, our website, are all independently funded. Please continue to support us through our Patreon page at patreon.com/forallnerds.
Welcome to the For All Nerds Show. And what's up, y'all? And welcome to this very extremely, stunningly impressive, important episode of the For All Nerds Show. The voice of the Urban Geek, the podcast where we discuss geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color. And as always, in the captain's chair, it's your boy, DJ Ben Amin, a.k.a. He Who Complains, a.k.a. the Mobius Dip, a.k.a. Dr. Stephen Strange, Sorcerer Supreme Clientele. Here in the spaceship, I'm going to keep it light, because we, going to get right to it. And as always, I'm joined by
Tatiana Keene, the Grand Duchess of Tech, also known as Sean Jean-Luc Picard, Flex Luthor, Lambo Calrissian, LaWanda Vision, I'll always love that one. Tesseract Thompson, ooh, that's a classic. He Who Cannot Be Shamed, Dr. Doing Something Strange for Some Change, Doc Aki, and the Ting of the North.
And, as you see, we are live right here. For those who are watching, we are live right now on twitch.tv/forallnerds. I'm peeping the live. It's looking good. It's looking beautiful. Shout outs to everybody in the chat. We'll try and, get some questions or something from y'all later, because we are here to discuss the finale of season 2 of Loki.
All right. So that was something. I'm not gonna hold you. I was annoyed for half the episode.
Wow. Okay. Starting off strong here. The fire right off the bat. Johnny Moon, Luna, what up?
I listen. I think this was really impactful as a finale, maybe series finale, I guess, because that's the end of that. I mean, I don't know how you come back from that. I mean, the way this shit ended was like, it was like both apocalyptic and also like very like, what's the word? I'm looking for the right adjective or something. It's just like beyond anything you probably could have imagined that this would have ended up at. Like, we kept sitting here saying, what is about to happen? Like, where exactly are they going with this? But then something in me, I even said it in the last episode that we recorded. I said, I bet you them statues. I said something to the effect. I said, well, them statues about to be of Loki, because I was just like, this nigga's about to take it all into his own hands, literally. Like, I felt that something was coming where he was just going to have to do it his damn self. That's usually what happens when you try to do something with other people and it just not working. It usually means you got to do it your damn self. So when he took everything literally into his hands at the end, I was like, okay, bet. I'm looking for the word that's like, not just apocalypse. It's like universal. It's like monumental, something bigger than the word monumental. But just the level at which Loki is, like, he's like literally, he's like dead ass God status now.
I mean, he already was.
Yeah, but like to really express that in this way, I don't know the word I'm looking for. Maybe I'll find it later.
Yeah, I want to wheel it back though, because I want to wheel it back to why you said you were annoyed for half of the episode. Let's start with that. Let's go to that first.
Okay, I just felt like it was some stupid shit happening, like literally over and I get it. That's the point. I think we talked about that before, how like episode 5 was just all about, you're literally in a paradox, right? Like, everything's so on the nose. And like the first half of the last episode, I was just like, bro, why are we doing this stupid shit? Why would Loki go back and then say, oh, you just got to do stuff faster? Like, that's not what the fuck is you need to do. You need to go all the way back to the beginning when the shit happened. You knew this, like, as smart as you are. And then it just felt like he was doing things just for for fuck's sake, like it didn't make sense for everything that he knew up until that point, everything that he learned. You are learning to literally control yourself through time. And this is what you come up with for like 11 times. You're gonna run timely through the fucking gamut, like through like you're gonna do that and like are you serious? That's so dumb.
You're not going to stop and at any point over the centuries that you did this, explain to people what you're doing. Like, not once did he ever even clue everyone else in. Like, that would have helped. You know, if he was like, at just one point, be like, look, I'm traveling through time. I've done this a million times already. I've actually spent centuries doing this over and over again, watching everyone die for centuries. So for some reason, I can learn physics because I think that will help. But over these centuries, I'm not going to tell one person this.
Well, you could say in his defense, he feels like he doesn't have enough time to be telling anybody anything. He's just trying to get it done. When you have tunnel vision, and because I've been there, where you have tunnel vision on something with like you're doing a task or a project. And again, I'm not saving every branch of the timeline, but when I understand that having the tunnel vision, being so sure, like I got to do this myself, I just do this myself. But it also makes me feel like, damn, has he learned nothing? He hasn't learned nothing in the last few episodes. He hasn't learned nothing in the last few years, centuries. Like, have you not learned that no man is an island? And then at the very end, he becomes an island. Like, it's just how? Like, how? What? Where did he learn? Right? Like, I don't know. I don't know what
did it. All right. This has been my thing that I don't feel redemption really because I kind of called this from episode 1, and I really feel saddened because I was discussing it with a friend of mine last night. We were talking about the whole season, and I was like, yo, maybe there's this film that I feel like everyone should see. It's called A Fish Story, I think, or Fish Story. It's a Japanese, I want to say, film. I don't even want to give anything away, but just so you can find out about it, because there's still a lot of things called Fish Story. It's a movie about a comet hitting the Earth. And why I bring it up is because when I watched the film, Mello Brown put me onto it, and I'm watching it. I'm really enjoying it throughout the movie. But it wasn't until the last 10 minutes of the movie. Throughout the movie, I'm sitting there like, I'm enjoying this, but I really don't know what sense this makes. And then at the last 10 minutes of the movie, everything fucking comes together in one of the most brilliant pieces of writing I've ever seen. And it's stunning, and it became one of my favorite films I've ever seen. I only watched it once, and I was so blown away, and I got to watch it again, but it was just so incredible, and I tell everyone about it. So watching Loki, I was like, yo, maybe that's what this is going to happen here. Maybe the 5th, 6th episode, however many episodes it was, is going to pull everything together, and I'm just going to be stunned at the end, and I'm going to be blown away. Once the episode started, I knew that wasn't happening. Like, once they started doing timely death over and over again, once they started doing Edge of Tomorrow shit, I was like, this ain't happening. And then when they did it over and over again with Sylvie, I really knew it wasn't happening. Or with He Who Remains being murked off over and over again. Then I was like, oh no, this episode is going nowhere. Like, most of the season has gone nowhere. It's just wasting time. It's using comedy in this episode, you know, which should be what should be a horrific moment. But after 10 times becomes comedy. When you're sitting there watching time, you get splattered over and over again, and you know it's trying to happen.
Nothing funny about it.
Oh, I was rolling. But when they switched angles, when they gave me a different angle of him getting splattered, it was hilarity. Yeah, it was hilarity by then. Hilarity.
It was funny when we did it, right? With the
pure comedy to me. And then hearing the sound of "see you soon," squelch, see you soon every time, comedy, squelch, see you soon, comedy. I was rolling. Yeah, that's what I mean. It was overdone.
But like, I didn't even get to the point of laughter, right?
Oh, I just got to the point of boredom, man. You know, why not laugh? Because what else am I gonna do?
Okay, I hear what you're saying. So they spun the block on that man getting linguini'd. Mm-hmm. Literally infinite number of times. And then I was just like, okay, well, at least that's the end of that. It's been 10 minutes of this. And then to your point, when they did the whole go back to Sylvie, like, again, spin the block on that to then kill him a different way. I'm like, what are they trying to say here? I was just like, you really don't fuck with this nigga. I'm like, okay, I get it. But first of all, I don't even know why you would think that this would come together and like this beautiful ultimate poetry at the end. Like, they send one episode in 10 minutes sitting about eating key lime pie. And that's how I knew
we
weren't going to get that.
Oh, I knew from the jump, and I called it from the jump. I told y'all, everyone out there, and I'm gonna get to some points about this episode because there was one person in particular who was like arguing, "Oh, you just want to see this and you don't get." And I've heard a lot of people talk about it, so I might as well get to this right now, right? Okay, there's a great run in comic books. It was in Journey into Mystery. I think Loki even had his own comic during this run, but parts of it take place in the Journey into Mystery series, which was by Kieran Gillen, and some other cats wrote it at the time. But this happens after Young Avengers, and this is when Loki, a lot of wild, terrible shit he's done. Like, he's done absolute horrible shit. But he saves Asgard and saves everyone and sacrifices himself to do it. So when he's reincarnated, he comes back as like this kid Loki, and everybody still hates him for what he's done before. But he's constantly trying to prove that he's not that person. And also, he has like this memory of the Loki that he killed haunting him, telling him he is that person. And he'll always be that person. Remember, you killed me, so this could happen.
You call him a bum ass nigga.
Yeah, he's calling himself out, basically. And it's a really ill series, and it ends with Loki transforming from being the god of lies to the god of stories, which is what they were doing in this series in a very, I can't even say condensed form. I just say, because to me, this episode, if you've never read that comic, you'll never fucking get that reference. And it doesn't really say it with any amount of its chest. It's just like, oh, he's the god of stories, and you're kind of meant to infer that, he says, I know
you are.
Well, okay, you're meant to infer that he is now the god of the TVA, I guess. And through that, he, by holding all the timelines together and allowing all the timelines to have their own story, he becomes the god of stories.
You would know that if you didn't read that.
And even if you read it, it's just a very weak translation of it. It's not like the book is better. It's like they just took the idea that he's the god of stories and stuck it onto this ending, which once again, as I call from the first episode, is pretty much this whole season was just a waiting pattern to get to Kang Avengers Dynasty. I mean, Avengers Kang Dynasty.
And that's what I was trying to say. They left us with this monumental iconography, but
yes, it was
felt
beautiful.
That's
Fucking
what I was trying
amazing.
to say. Monumental was the word.
Yes.
What, like that the end of him like literally holding the strands of time and lives and all that stuff.
And then
becoming
a tree, which could also represent the tree
of life.
Jotunheim, I think it is, the tree
Jotunheim.
in Asgard.
Jotunheim, the tree of life. Yep. And all that shit. Yeah, I got it. And I'm like, he's having a throne and all that symbolism and iconography behind him. That shit was fire. I will say that. Like the way it looked and the way the imagery.
Incredible.
Him stepping up to become that god. Him shedding his skin and all that stuff. All of the symbolism and all of that literary stuff. Like all of that. I thought it looked beautiful. Great. That's it. It's also empty. It was also feeling empty
as F.
And I don't think that's what was intended. Like, you're supposed to be like, and I'm sure people will, and that's great. God damn, like that nigga went through a journey. He made it there. I was just like, he did some fucking dumbass shit for 45 minutes and then realized, I gotta be the nigga to get up there. And then it's not just 45 minutes, it's centuries. And I guess you can sit there and have the argument that he needed centuries worth of lessons.
But he wasn't getting lessons.
But I'm just like, but there was no lessons, right? He was just doing the same shit over and over again until he said, "Oh shit."
It wasn't even like he was doing the same shit over. All right, he was doing the same shit over again up until a point, right? But then the centuries is spent just learning physics, which really didn't amount to anything.
It didn't. I was like, what was the point?
It's like, why did you need to learn it when this dude already knows it and he's right there? What did you know and he gonna change anything? It didn't.
Because he wanted to do it all on his own.
But he's already accepted that he wanted his friends, and he had his friends there.
But he wants to change the course of everything on his own.
No, but he said he wanted his friends.
But he didn't say But listen to what I'm saying. He's doing it on his own. He's not asking for help. He's not explaining to other people what's going on or why he's doing what he's doing.
Over centuries.
Over centuries. He's doing it himself because
sat there through the whole Avengers movie and didn't realize that teamwork helps the dream work.
And that's what I said earlier about him not learning anything. I was just like
you He saw Avengers. He saw Thor 1, 2, and 3. Like, he ain't figure out that. You know? No, he literally did. He sat there and watched the movie of his life. He saw the same joints we did, and he still ain't figure it out.
I was going to say, he didn't live it, but he did watch it.
We didn't live it, and we watched the movies, and we're like, yo, being a team works. It's great, You know
what I'm saying? That wasn't the Loki that went through all the stuff that he watched.
No, but he still watched the movies.
But we watched
the movies, and we're like,
now we have the knowledge.
At the end of the movies, we're like, being an Avenger is awesome. Having a team is great. This man watched the movies and was like, that shit was a hype. Shit was mid.
And that's okay. It's just, it's like, this is the thing that has been happening with this show. There's so many things that look good, that look interesting. There's like on the cusp of greatness. And then it's just like,
it's not the cusp. It's still reaching for it.
Defeat from the jaws of victory every time. Every episode.
It's sitting there on the like, it's like I say, it's how someone talked about, there was this great review of the Star Wars prequels when they talk about how there's all these great lightsaber fights and stuff, but they have no emotion behind them. And it's the same thing that people talk about with Zack Snyder and Justice League. When you have these I would never not say Zack Snyder can't put a shot together, because he would have some fucking shots. But I'm like, I don't care about any of this.
I don't care. And this is what, and like, I know people are watching
all of this looks amazing. I know people and I watching just don't care.
And are saying, you're a hater. I'm not saying it was bad. It's just like, it didn't mean anything.
No, I said from the beginning this was wildly entertaining, but only because you have Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson. Beyond that, this show would be a much hotter mess this season. But they are so entertaining.
I need these Marvel properties to mean something.
Yeah.
I really do, because I'm investing. You are investing. You as the viewer, listen. You are investing an inordinate amount of time when you put it together. And and it's just like, God damn, like because you make me feel like an idiot. Like, I've sat there and I'm waiting. I gotta wait till Thursday, every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, to watch you make a fool out of me and watch like. I sat there like, I wish he was in the room with me when he was doing it. I said, well, why the fuck is he doing this? I said, what you mean fast?
I was just sitting there so quietly because I was just like, oh my God, this is not getting better. They're really doing Edge of Tomorrow. Like Edge of Tomorrow wasn't a hit. You know what I mean? If y'all done Fish Story, that's a Japanese movie most people haven't seen. Y'all could have pulled that shit off. Robbed it. And nobody would have known the better. But you rob Edge of Tomorrow like Tom Cruise ain't a worldwide superstar. Like, Jesus.
I don't know. Like,
all right, I got a question. I got a couple questions real quick, right? All right, first, wait, I had another one, but I can't remember what it is. So I'll go back to that, and I'll just ask you this right quick. What the fuck happens to Victor Timely at the end of this?
We all said that. That's so funny. They was like, now wait a minute, where the fuck is Victor? Great question, because you saw that they never showed him.
There's no answer to that, right?
There's no answer. All we did see was you saw young Victor, the previous Victor that was supposed to have gotten the TVA handbook and become.
But he doesn't get the book?
But he does not get the book.
Because
he looks on the windowsill because homegirl isn't there to, what's her name? Renslayer isn't there to put the book on the windowsill. So it never happened.
OB has a new edition of the book.
OB has a new edition of the book. And also Renslayer ends up in that limbo area with Eliath.
Behind her was the Rama Tuts. TVA is what's underneath her.
That underground thing where President Loki and them was staying at.
Oh, that's
the underground bunker.
So and then
behind her, the pyramids. You're saying that's Rama Tut's pyramid. The time.
I mean, why not? Fuck it.
Okay.
That's how I felt that whole scene was. Why not? Fuck it. Because that's Renslayer when she got erased, but when. Pruned. Okay, Loki was pruned when Loki got pruned. But we also saw, remember, that the shit got reset. So I don't even know when she got pruned, right? Because it got reset because the rest of the people who got squashed were there.
Which people that got squashed?
Yeah.
They were there where? At the very end?
At the very end when it was all hunky-dory. I don't think those are the same people.
You mean General Dox and them? General Dox and them was not in there.
Okay, but Little Ma was. What happened to Little Ma? She never got squashed before? Little Ma, because it was General Dox and the other one.
The one
The
in the
little one.
wheelchair?
Yeah, she didn't get
No,
squashed?
she was not in that room with them. No.
Okay, because she was in the last scene in the wheelchair. She was in the
she
last
was
scene.
there because she was the only one that was kind of like.
So all the
with
motherfuckers, but see, that don't make no sense because they really didn't get squashed. Like he reset it a million times, one. So they never got squashed.
Did he?
No, you're right. He never. No, he did go back. He did go back that far when he goes to Sylvie, because that's even before them.
When he finally makes a decision to.
Oh no, he goes back.
Right. Remember when he finally makes a decision.
No, I mean straight up, like he could have gone back and saved them at any point.
But could he? But let me explain. When he goes back and makes that final decision to say, "I'm going to be the god of stories" or whatever you want to call him, he only goes back to after all that shit happened. Well after the squashing, after the pruning.
Why not just on that last go through? Why not go back right before and save them from getting squashed?
For why? Tunnel vision. For why? He wants everything to survive. He wants his friends, and he's going to do it on his own one way or another. For what? What is
some of those people who got squashed were his friends?
Not his friends. No, my nigga. General Doxson them was not his friend. Them suicide bombers in the Suicide Time 12 was not his friend. So why the fuck would he go back and save them? They were not on his mind. He wanted to save these 5
His definition of friends is fucking very weird.
No, man.
I mean, his definition of wanting to save everyone is also very weird.
What else was your question that you had?
My main question was what happened to Victor Tomley? And there's no answer because they just don't show him.
I don't know, and I'm confused about that. And I gotta also say I am just confused overall about so what's happening now?
I think the show is confused about all this. That's my thing.
And I just I gotta tell you, this last episode felt like Loki's speech when he was trying to explain if I show him what their life could have been, then maybe they have the choice to make a choice. And I'm like, no, Loki, you just making shit up because you just want your niggas with you. You just want to do harass shit with your friends. Like, that don't make no sense. And that's what this felt.
It doesn't make any sense if Tommy doesn't create the TVA. Because then who did? Like, his inventions lead to it. So if he doesn't get that book, why are they even there?
I don't know. I'm sure there's something little that we're missing, or some
I don't think so.
Random narrative point someone's gonna board. I just feel like they've missed something, because then they made the point to make Mobius say, "Oh, there was a
the variants are out there,"
and I think they're talking about quantum. I think they're talking about Quantum, right?
Yeah.
There was one adjacent to 616.
That's what happened. It was adjacent. They were in a different realm, adjacent to the main universe.
I'm like, why'd you bother talking about that, but not
because
bother mentioning Victor Timely?
Because the show doesn't.
They didn't that didn't make sense.
I feel this is the same thing with Moon Knight, right? And I was extremely I don't want to say pissed, I want to say aggravated, just like by Moon Knight, because the director at one point came out and was like, "Yo, this is a series you can watch over," and I'm like, "No, it's not, dog."
Hell nah, it was
because you don't have the answers through the first time. Like, it doesn't make sense the first time I watched it. I didn't need to go back and see that it didn't make sense. And I feel the same thing about this. I feel like this is a show where the writer's room came together and was like, okay, we got a lot of, does this really make sense? No, but people aren't going to figure it out. And that's my problem, because we live in an internet age where people are going to figure it out. Or, as with Moon Knight, a lot of people just blindly were like, yo, this is great. And I'm like, that's cool and all, but you can't tell me this is a show that deserves multiple watches. If you just tell me this is a show that, watch through it and don't think about it too much, I'm fine with that. But if you act like this is something I'm supposed to think about, then I'm not fine with that. And Loki was acting like it was something you're supposed to think about. And I don't think they thought it through all the way. I think they just left it open-ended, like, well.
And this is probably my bias, being Loki's one of my favorite characters. I just feel like they did him dirty. I
feel like they did Sylvie super dirty.
Well, I know you love Sylvie. I don't really.
Damn.
I still ain't really fucking.
I love
Sylvie
Loki too, and that's why I love Sylvie, because I love their interaction in the first season, and I love what she represented to him in the first season.
Sure,
it was, you know what I'm saying. I love both of them. Trust, I love Loki since that man threw Iron Man out the window. That was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I love that
like,
man.
You can sit here and say, like, well, no, Loki is now, he's the most selfless god now, da da da. And I'm like, literally everything he did up until the very end was because of shit that he wanted.
Yeah. And even in the end, it's because of shit that he wanted. And he says he doesn't want the throne, but he did want the throne. And this Loki did want the throne. His motivations were so all over the place in this season.
It was all over the place, yeah.
And it's like, but that's just weird. You know, it's like a character should at least want things, either get them, realize it's not what I wanted, and then go for something else. I mean, that's what we all do in life. We go for things, and then we get them, and we're like, okay, that's what I wanted, or no, this ain't exactly what I wanted. I got to go for something else. And he was just going for whatever episode to episode. It was like, one episode he tells Sylvie, we are gods. We should run this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, I don't want a throne. What the fuck did you just tell her that for then? And then the other episode, he's like, oh, we got to hope these cops get better. You know, when has that ever worked out, Loki, in the history of man?
Never,
you know,
ever.
hoping cops get better. Never. You know, and that's what he's saying. Hope these time cops get better. And so he says different things. Do you hope time cops get better? Or are you a god who runs everything? Do you want people to have free choice? Or are you a god who runs everything? None of this made sense, line to line, scene to scene sometimes. So, yeah, they did that man dirty. They did everybody dirty. They did us dirty.
I just feel like they did him dirty,
and
then you know, it got that's the one thing they got from me. It's like, I feel sad for this nigga, but not because he's so selfless. I just feel sad how they got him out there raw dog in the fucking. He's the new Loom, right? Like, he's just out there. He's just out there with nothing. Like,
nothing.
This is what y'all get this nigga. Like, y'all call this nigga a loser for centuries, and then he just gotta sit there and eat that shit. Like, damn. Dirty.
And that's like it for Tom. Is that how we finish all Tom Hiddleston's run in MCU for real? Like, that's it, or is the next thing gonna come along? He's just gonna walk out and like, oh, okay, you know, gotta be an Avenger now. You know, that's how I feel like this series is. It's gonna be either people are gonna ignore it, or that's the end of Tom Hiddleston.
And that's crazy because it's just like to ignore something that again. Monumental iconography at the end just to be ignored. Just to say, this nigga gave up everything and look at where he is now because of us. He lived because we live because of him. And y'all niggas are not even gonna watch this shit ever fucking again. Space Jesus. And y'all not even gonna watch this shit ever fucking again.
Time Jesus.
Ain't gonna matter. And is this gonna come back up again? Or is he gonna end up like the Celestial in the middle of the Indian Ocean? Where nobody mentions it. Nobody talks about it. Do people know? Will people know? I don't fucking know. Are they going to replace all the tapestries of the, quote, 3 wise men with tapestries of Loki being space Jesus?
I mean, who's going to care? Like, are you going to really watch a season 3 of Loki with no Loki? No. Like, when are we going to see the resolution of Renslayer and whatever she was like? Was that just Elias? But
that was Elias. That's what I was saying earlier.
But I thought Elias was gone because he who reigned, you know, Elias was a thing of he who remains, right?
No, he who remained basically just not controlled. That's he who remains pet at that point. But he never stopped it. He never turned it off. Like, so
Elias was just eating shit.
You can't stop Elias.
So Elias just stays eating up things. And so basically that was like her end. Or that was her. She ducked under the hole. No, they're going to keep
that fucking open-ended because you saw the determined look on her face. And knowing what you know, at least from the comic book history of Ravonna, you know that she's a fucking time. Yes, I don't even know what to call her.
Whatever.
But she's a time nigga too. So and then she got to get her revenge because she don't fuck with Kang. And then it's going to be, they're going to keep her in limbo until they need to use her.
Yeah.
To say like, oh, okay, let's fuck up somebody's plan and throw her in as a wrench. She's going to be the new wrench.
But I seriously doubt it because I doubt she shows up in Kang Dynasty.
She could be the new wrench. How about that?
Yeah, could be.
She
just
could,
like anything
not just
could
in Kang
be
Dynasty,
the new wrench.
in anything they want.
Yeah, but when? You know, we just all right. This is something we discussed on our latest episode, I think, right? But I can't even remember. We've been recording a lot lately, but I'll just bring it up here, right? The real issue with the MC right now is because it's so large, and that did not have to be an issue. It just became. They don't have a focused storyline throughout these series where it's like you're following one series into the next movie, into the next series. It's like you're following this series, which might be talking about this, you know, Echo, the street level character over here. And then you're following this series, Loki, which is talking about a man, you know, becoming the god of stories. We're talking about
universes.
Yeah, and then you're following the Eternals, and we're forgetting that there's a Celestial in the middle of the Indian Ocean, where before you just had Thor, Iron Man, then Avengers, and then we're back to Iron Man again, and then we're back to Thor again, and then we're back to the Avengers again. And so that's a problem now, and it didn't have to be this way. They could have done it just a little bit more focused, but COVID, etc. And then I have to say bad writing, you know, really is throwing off a lot of this.
this is what, and yes, you're reiterating what we've been saying, but I have a question. Do you think they went too big too fast? And when I say too big too fast, I mean going from Earthbound, with the exception of some godlike heroes, going from Earthbound to straight Eternals, Celestials, all these upper crust, Galactus. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that was done too quickly? Or do you just think it wasn't done skillfully enough? Like, did the universe, did the MCU expand too fast for its own good?
I always said, and I said this back then, that it was going to be tough to top Infinity War and Endgame, because in the comics, that is still something that is not rarely topped. People still talk about the first time Thanos snapped his fingers, and I can't think of a moment in comics that ever was so ridiculous like that since, other than things like Age of Apocalypse, where they completely rewrote the X-Men. But that would take a lot to ever get to that point in movies and series. So, yeah, in one way, but I also thought that one thing they could do was just focus on characters. And that's what they have been failing to do for a lot of this, because a lot of this has just been, well, we'll just hold the line until the next Avengers movie.
Yeah.
And that's not what they were
now
doing
there's no
before.
Avengers, now what?
Well, I mean, we know we have Kang Dynasty coming, but that's not what they were doing before. Before, it was like Iron Man was telling the story. I mean, that's not even what they're doing.
You're saying it's not character driven anymore.
Yeah, it's plot driven. I mean, yeah, it's plot, but it's not even plot driven.
There's no plot half the time.
Because there's no plot half the time.
It's like endpoint driven. It's like how we always talk about
how do we get to I
want to see Silver Surfer. How do we get to Silver Surfer? Let's just do a whole bunch of shit just to get there. Like,
but it's not even getting to Silver Surfer. It's just holding it until we get to the next thing. And it's really bad. This is what I talk about when people talk about content. Like, this is content. This is not a story. This is just entertainment. It's just jokes. It's spectacle, and then it's over. There's no real story having been told here.
It's nothing sticking to your ribs.
No character. Yeah, there's no meat to it. No characters really evolved or grew, other than Loki suddenly is like, poof, now I'm God of Stories. It's not like he grew to that. It's not like all through this series we were seeing it like, okay, wow, they're planting the seeds. So, okay, he's talking about stories now. Everyone's telling him he's a liar all the time, and he's trying to deny that all the time and trying to show people it's not about lies and how every lie can be a story, because that's what Kieran Gillen and all the other writers of that series got into. And there's none of that. There was none of that here. It's just suddenly, poof, poof, I'm grabbing all these branches, and I'm going to sit on a throne that I didn't want, but before I said I was a god, because there was no through line. People didn't have motivations. And when you have a character that has motivations, that's when you have a great story. I was telling somebody this the other day, and this is what people have been, like, my partner Mello, tries to grind into my head all the time. He's like, fuck whatever plot you keep coming to me with. Fuck whatever, you got the illest idea for this series. I don't give a shit. What's the character that's trying to drive it? Mm-hmm. What character and what do they need so badly that makes you want to write them, one, and then makes other people want to watch them because people want to see them go for something. We didn't see Loki go for shit. We knew at the beginning of this series that Loki wanted to save Sylvie. That's what he ended the last season was. Where's Sylvie? Where's Sylvie? She just killed He Who Remains. And then halfway through this, my man's like, I just want my friends. And then it's like, I want to be a god, Sylvie. It's like all this shit.
It's a bunch of ideas, but no
follow through. And
story.
He never really got any of them to be like, oh, that's not what I wanted. Like when he gets his friends back, it wasn't that he gets his friends back. He gets a fate set of friends back, and then they all die. And then he's, reduced to going back to these people who are his friends, but he doesn't get them either. And I don't know, man.
And then it's just, I don't know. Like, I don't even know what to make of it. And I keep getting that empty feeling when I keep telling you about the latest Disney Plus shows where it's just like, I don't care. Like, I don't care about the billions dying on the Linguini timeline because I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. I don't care about B-15, to be honest with you. I don't.
And the fact they show that twice and I'm supposed to care the second time she screams, I didn't. Or like somebody said it in the comment section today about Infinity War. Even you don't give a shit about the billions, trillions of people being snapped out of existence. You give a shit because Peter Parker says, "I don't want to go, Mr. Stark." Like right now, it's the chills up my spine because Tom fucking Holland you know, in that scene, and that's who I care about.
You
I
give
don't
a shit
care about anybody else.
But I would even say, I would take that further, but also flip it. Like, you care because these people who you have character and story and arcs with, this is happening to them. And then when you're like, wait a minute, this is happening to them, and now it's happening to everyone else, it actually fucking matters, right? That's why, like, for me, it did eventually matter that everyone's getting fucking potpourried. Because, as you say, he's not a little boy, but you know what I'm trying to say, Peter Parker, fucking dust in the wind.
And that's what it is, because it's hard for the human brain to even comprehend it. It's like when we see something on the news, you know, thousands die somewhere, you're like, oh, that's bad. But it's not till it's a friend of yours dies. Then you're like, fuck.
Right.
You know?
My question to you about, did the MCU expand too fast, too soon? My other question goes about, like, first of all, I always get nervous whenever time jumps up as a plot or tries to be a plot. Because
the multiverse is a big problem.
No, I know. But the idea
I thought
that
was your question.
No. The idea of time travel and controlling time, this and that, because it's very rarely done properly. And when I say properly, I mean to a point that it doesn't even confuse the people writing the story, right? Like, I could tell that they didn't know what the fuck was going on by the end of this story, because I was just like you said, it was just things that wasn't making sense, and things that it wasn't just like purposeful narrative, you know, loose end. It was just like, I think y'all niggas forgot about this. Like,
or no, they didn't.
Or you didn't realize
somebody
what you did.
No, somebody in that room couldn't fucking sleep about that shit. But they couldn't figure it out.
And that's the problem with stories dealing with time. I'm just like, it is very difficult. Like, I think you had said I think you think the Terminator.
Shits again.
Yeah, I think you said you think the Terminator is I could be making this up.
Terminator 1 and 2 are the best. One of the rare ones that really get it right.
Where time travel and stuff really does work. Time travel is one of the hardest things, and not because people are stupid or they're not clever enough. The human brain can barely comprehend the mechanics of it, let alone talk a story about it and make it make sense, because we only think on a certain dimensional level. There's no fucking way outside of that. And I'm like, when you start trying to make conversation and story outside of what you can humanly comprehend and then trying to explain it to someone else, ain't no way it's gonna become fucking spaghetti, just like fucking Victor Timely 50-11 times. So I'm just like, it's one thing to try to be ambitious, and another thing, like, fam, you gotta relax. Like, let's dial it back a little bit. Can you make ABC make sense first? Can you make that make sense first? Can you know what I'm saying? Sometimes less is more. Keep it simple, stupid. I don't know what other euphemisms I gotta say. Like, it's just like, I think you're doing too much, and maybe that's why it didn't come out the way you wanted it to.
The other issue is that you didn't bring up is time travel. Like, I think time travel stories are one of the most difficult things to write. I don't recommend it to anyone. I've said I don't want to do it again. I'm not interested in it. You know, unless there's a few I probably will, but you know, it's tough. But multiverse presents a whole other problem, and the problem it presents is you don't care about anyone because there's always another iteration of these characters. It was like it came up when the recast of T'Challa shit started coming out, and people are like, well, we can just bring in a T'Challa from another universe, and it doesn't have to look like Chadwick, which is besides the point, because the real problem with that is, one, that's not the T'Challa we know and love, right? Even if you bring him in, he used to be like, oh, I don't know these motherfuckers.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's one of my favorite, Don't Be a Menace, one of my favorite movies, but one of my favorite scenes is where the dude goes to visit him in jail, and he's like, why you ain't come to see me before? It's like, I don't know you, nigga. You know, and that's exactly how T'Challa would be. You know, sure, he comes up to him, oh, my beloved. And he's like, who's this shorty? You know what I mean? In my dimension, I was married to a white woman. Surprise! You know, oh, everybody's mad. You know, I had to ruin everybody's feelings right there. But that's what I'm saying. And so we have this issue now in the MCU where a character dying, nothing really matters because we know there's another iteration and they can just come in. And so that's the thing with this Kane thing. I still don't feel any threat, and they still have not made me feel any threat, and it's gotten worse. Like, we had a feeling of threat early on in this season when, you know, Loki's running all around the TVA like, oh my God, this nigga's coming, you know, and that's when that was the first time since, you know, He Who Remains first died and said, see you soon. When he died and said, see you soon, I was like, oh, fuck.
That was like, you were like, you knew they were fucked. You knew they were fucked. There was a level of gravitas to that, right?
And they ruined it immediately in Ant-Man. And so then they had a chance to bring it back with Loki. And when he comes in, I'm like, oh. But the way Loki is just like, oh, well, I'll just cause a universal war at the end of this one makes me like, well, it can't be that bad. Like, because that's literally what he does at this one. He's like, well, okay, I'll be the god of stories or whatever, they want to do. I'm trying to give some hope to this series and know they were thinking about that. But by doing that, he's bringing this war on. Like, there's no question. They go into what they say is a war room. They're worried about the variants already.
Yeah.
They know they're coming. So once again, this series did exactly what I said it was going to do, and I'm so tight about that, is that it ended exactly where the first season ended. The TVA and people at the TVA know the variants are coming.
Damn.
It just took Loki out of the picture.
Damn, nothing fucking changed, huh?
It was like the season of Ahsoka where all the end of the season of Ahsoka is Ahsoka and Sabine are now trapped in the other galaxy, and Ezra is back in the normal galaxy along with Thrawn. And it was like nothing else changed. And this all was we took Loki out of the picture, and the TVA knows the variants are coming, and I guess Ant-Man knows the variants are coming, and that's pretty much it. And so, no one else learned anything that I can recall. Mobius, didn't learn or grow. I mean, he learned he had a life, but he knew that already. He just learned specifically what it was. But that's just one of his lives. That was my other point. Like, when you go and look at that, these Mobius with the kids, that's just one of your lives. And that might not be the one you were taken from. There's infinite Mobiuses out there doing infinite amount of things. And you're over here, let me just stand here while time passes, while these fucking variants are gathering an army to destroy everything. Let me just stand here and look at these kids who ain't mine.
Well, he already said he was retiring. He was done with that shit. So
okay, so he's just like, fuck it, let the war come and destroy everything. I ain't got shit to do with that.
That's what he was talking to B-15 about. He was like, yo, I'm hanging it up flat screen. I'm done with this shit.
All right, so he's not a hero at all. This man's a pure villain.
What?
I mean, he literally is like, knows there is a cataclysmic universal war.
What the fuck Mobius supposed to do about it?
You at least have knowledge of it, fam. That'd be like if I was like, yo, there's a cataclysmic war coming that I know about, Tatiana, but I ain't even gonna tell you about it or do anything to prevent it. That's like, Sarah Connor knowing the thing is coming and she says, fuck it. That's not what Sarah Connor did because she's a hero.
Okay. I was like, I don't even know how to argue with you. I'm like, all right.
I mean, he's a hero, like this is Mobius. Like, he's running around with gods. He has knowledge of time travel. What are you talking about? What is he supposed to do? He can do a lot.
I did, but within what we saw, I'm like, what the fuck is he supposed to do? Like,
I don't know. Has portals. He better figure something out. If I can travel.
Man's is tired. Man's is tired. He can't just be tired.
So am I. But I don't know a universal cataclysmic war is coming. I'm still over here podcasting. World's going to hell. I still got to do this show. Oh, well.
What would you rate Loki season 2?
Oof. Entertaining. Surprisingly, in the fact that I would give it a D. A D, though. I mean, like, it's like that shit is like, it's a D with an asterisk next to it. And the asterisk is Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson. That asterisk, and also my love for, oh my God, Miss Raw. Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
I know. Shout out to Lock It Down, Regine. What's up? Good evening. Man. Quiet Storm. I literally just asked that question. She said, well, at the end of the day, do you recommend watching?
If you like 2? Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston, then yes, because they're amazing in this. And if you like wasting time, then yes. But there's so many other better shows out there, fam. I'm sorry. I mean, I haven't even finished it yet, but Reservation Dogs is 3 seasons of perfection. I have 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
I'm holding out because I don't want to finish this fucking perfection. And it's like, this is what perfection looks like. Atlanta is 4 seasons. I was talking about it with my boy last night. It's 4 seasons of perfection. You know what I mean? Me and you were talking about this, and we were talking about the Marvels and our review of it. And you were like, well, the Marvels, the fight scenes, you can't expect it. Yes, you can. Like, I'm tired of these motherfuckers getting away with shit just because they're superhero things. Because we don't, like, Spider-Man No Way Home shows you can do better. Across the Spider-Verse shows you can do better. You know, we've seen better. Black Panther, the first one, great. Iron Man, classics. It's like, it's not like these things haven't been done. And now it's just like, no, which accept mediocre shit because it's Marvel or because it's any superhero thing. No, man, you can hire an action team and get some really ill action shots. You know what I mean? That's how the Matrix did it. The director, the Wachowskis are not the greatest action directors in the world. They hired the best from Japan.
Right. I thought it was Hong Kong, but okay. I get what you're saying, but no, I hear you.
Excuse me, sorry, you're probably right. Hong Kong, they hired the best. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's what I mean. You stop cheaping out. You stop, lessening shit. You do better, man. And this is just not doing enough. And I really gotta, call them out because, like you said, we wasted time watching this.
We wasted so much fucking time.
There's better shit out there, man. I'm tired of it.
The other part that annoys me is like this felt like a product as opposed to art. It looked nice, but it just felt like something you made because it's part of the machine, and we gotta get this. We gotta make this burger. Caitlin Richelle Art says, I just finished the finale. I don't know what the fuck I just watched. LOL.
They also said I took an edible. It would hopefully would seem better. Not even weed help. Oh, I'm always roasted. Like, trust me, it doesn't help.
Yeah. No, I hate the spaghetti. The spaghetti imagery, gives me, I don't like it either. It's very unsettling.
I know you're rolling because it kept happening,
but it looks creepy. So
it does. But after the fourth or fifth time, it's like, and I know, I'm telling you, when they switched the angle, that's when I was like, oh, y'all really pushing the limit. Y'all gotta expect me to laugh now. Or when they show him run out, but they don't show you, and it's just the sound effects. Yeah, it's like, of course, this is comedy.
Wiggles in.
Yeah, this is pure comedy now.
Shout out to the Resident.
It's Edge of Tomorrow when Tom Cruise rolled underneath the truck. I fell out my seat.
Edge of Tomorrow was really well done. Like, come the fuck on.
It's super well done, and it's also hilarity all those times he dies over and over again.
Well, it was actually funny to me. I just didn't find these that's funny because I was just like, I know y'all not gonna have me sit here and watch this nigga die.
The timing maybe not as much, but the He Who Remains, because it was like they kept doing it over again. It's like, it's like, no, it's squelch.
Squelch.
Yeah, squelch.
I wanted to say,
and his was so funny, and then he's like, "See you soon," over and over again. That was.
I wanted to say, shout out to the Resident that writes.
Yep.
They wrote, "Don't watch Loki. Watch ForAllNerds talk about Loki."
It's probably more entertaining. No, I can't lie. That show was wildly entertaining, and like you said, it looks so good, and there's nothing happening. Are we just sit here and think Miss Minutes ain't gonna kill us all again? Like, what the fuck? Who operates like this? You gonna let Ultron just chill again? Tony ain't bringing all...
OB operates that way. He was like, I don't know, nigga. I'm just putting it together again. Like, OB is not the one. Like, he just like, nigga, I don't know if it's gonna kill us. I just trying to fix it.
Mobius is a villain, fam. Mobius is abandoning the universe to these morons. Like, he's a pure villain.
Again, what is he supposed... I hear you, but also I don't.
Run the TVA?
Why would he want to run the TVA? Mobius?
Because you're the only one who has any sense. Wow. And you know what you're supposed to be protecting. And you care.
I must have missed it, but I didn't realize that he used to be a hunter. Not until he said that story. And maybe it was telegraphed in the first season. But
I think they said that in the first season.
I don't remember. Yeah. But when he said that, I was like, wait. Damn. You used to really be time 12. But okay, no problem.
Yeah, you were a cop. All these niggas are cops. Yeah. Analysts, whatever. And you still a cop. Don't get it twisted. All of them was cops. But that's what I'm saying. You at least, attempted to be the good cop. Shout out to my brother Chris Ramsden out there attempted to be a good cop, and make the attempt.
Damn.
Because...
So where do we go from here?
We go to Echo. And What If? What If comes out in December,
And that's what's, that's
Is
also
Loki
bizarre.
going to be the watcher of What If season 2? Now that'd be cool, but that's not going to happen.
But my thing is, that's what's so also bizarre. It's like these jarring tonal shifts because now you got all this shit and then Echo, right? Or What If first, but still, or whatever. But I'm just like,
and it's just constantly forget about the Celestial in the ocean. That should at least come up on Echo. Like, somebody should be reading the paper about it. It's like...
Don't forget about my nigga Loki. That's all I gotta say, man. My man's is out in the fucking sky. Sky Daddy. He ain't got no body. He holding it together. by himself.
What's Sylvie gonna do? No one cares, Yeah.
Does Sylvie exist?
Yeah, remember she left what's his name at the end? She left Mobius. She walked off from Mobius when he was like, I'm gonna stand here and watch for a while. And then she bounced.
All these unanswered questions. Where's Victor Timely?
No, that one is wild.
Did he put him back into his timeline? What happened? Did they
Yeah, because they had a Victor Timely there with them, at the end. When Loki goes off to be tried, he's standing right there. So that Victor Timely still exists. You cannot put that Victor Timely back into his timeline. That man knows everything. He changes everything about that timeline immediately if he goes back into it. Immediately, It's a whole different world. He runs the world from the, 18th, 19th century.
He puts man's back in Atlanta, he gonna scam.
Yeah, end of story. Immediately. So it's not going to happen. So he has to stay there with them and be part of the TVA, which means he's going to be fighting his own variants. No, why would he want to do that? Why not join up with them? And he remains new about Timely. Yeah.
I'm not going to hold you. If I was a variant that people was trying to keep on the low, and I find out that I got wild other variants gangs of me that is fucking boss bitching up all over the fucking universe.
I'm joining them.
I ain't gang.
Gang.
So I get it. I get it.
So we'd have to kill him. I mean, they'd have to, put that stick on him. Hey, yo.
Well, how do you feel about the fact that he just could not bring himself to kill Sylvie?
What a sucker. I mean, you brought yourself to kill,
he couldn't kill himself, essentially. She's just a Loki, but I don't.
So you're causing. I just can't get over the fact that he's like, okay, I'll cause a cataclysmic war, But killing Sylvie would have not caused a cataclysmic war.
Because you would have kept He Who Remains intact.
Which, for some reason, he
But why does he? But he allowed her to kill him because you just saw he could have stopped her at any point. So.
Yeah, he could have stopped. He killed. Yeah. So he wanted what happened eventually either way.
Which doesn't make sense with what he was saying, but okay.
Yeah, but okay. But see, that's the problem, because what he said at the end of the first season is now contradicted by different writers and a whole different team of people who had their own ideas, and they didn't really seem to take into account what happened in the first season a lot of times, because, like you said, that really just contradicted what he said. And it wasn't like he's the god of lies where he's over here telling lies. He was telling them the truth. He's like, I don't know what's going to happen after this point, but in this, it's like, no, he knew exactly what was going to happen.
I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio in Inception. He's just sitting there he's just kind of sitting there looking at him what do you mean? I can't even explain this to anybody. If they ask me what happens at the end. And again, I have to ask the go forward question, because it's so what does this matter now? What's going to happen now?
I said, like I said at the beginning of the season, I just feel like nothing in this season is going to matter. And whoever writes Avengers Kang Dynasty can do whatever they want, because nothing in this season is going to matter or really be referenced that tight, other than something like the Marvels, where it's one quick line. Oh yeah, Loki is holding shit together for us. Moving on. All these Kangs are coming.
Did they not start writing on Kang Dynasty yet?
Oh, I'm sure they already did.
Yeah, but clearly they could rewrite anything.
They could rewrite. I mean, that's one quick line. Loki's holding it together for us, but damn, these Kangs are coming, and that's all they need. And then moving on, and this whole season will be moot. Because, these cats ain't showing up to fight Kangs. These ain't the Avengers. You know what I mean? B-15 ain't joining the Avengers. It's no, fam. Nobody wants to see that.
That's also why I'm what the fuck is Mobius
I would have loved to see Sylvie be part of the new Avengers team, but it seems like they have other plans of nothing doing with her.
Well, I guess that's it then. I feel so empty. They did my nigga Loki dirty. I'm just I wasted a bunch of fucking time. Y'all are not y'all are. I'm trying to defend like everyone's saying, oh, the MCU down bad, da, da, da. But I'm just like, you know what? Y'all not making this easy for me to believe that.
And it really hurts because it's like the things that I depended on in MCU were the writers of Christopher McFeely, I think it is, who wrote, pretty much Infinity War, Winter Soldier, all that whole, run. I think even the first Captain America, the first Avenger. So they were killing it. And then James Gunn, who was killing it over there. And then, of course, we got his face is in my head, but director and writer, Coogler, for Black Panther. So you got Coogler, who's still there, and everybody else is ghost. And I haven't seen anyone on the writing side come in and write something where I'm like, okay, they can, handle this.
Because do we have to come take it over?
I mean, it's also might be a problem with, who I don't want to say Faye, but I mean, who knows right now? It's like you haven't hired the people who can do this because, man, it hasn't been, it's been just mid. Like, writing wise, I've not seen it since then. I mean, yeah, James Gunn, killed it with Guardians. Whoever did Spider-Man, but that's not, that's Sony right now. Sony. Like, that ain't, which is wild to say that they got better writing over there right now than Marvel, but they really did. Now, it was a solid 3 series. The Spider-Man movies are really solid. Across the Spider-Verse, really solid, I know they worked them people like slaves, but, that's Phil Lord over there, and, and once again, not Marvel.
Who in the chat has seen the Marvels, huh? I think I saw Regine said she just came back from watching the Marvels. I mean, another thing that don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, we're live, right now, while we're doing this special episode, chat got any questions for us,
real quick, like, since now you have an extra day to, like, sleep on it, and we've already done our, like, no spoiler review. Is there anything else you wanted to change or add on that you didn't get to say about the Marvels?
No,
or you feel like you still feel the same?
I feel like, and I will say this, because today we caught some YouTube comments from the, whackness of people talking about, oh, they went woke and they're going broke, and all this other bullshit, or people talking about they knew we'd hate it when, in fact, you loved it.
It was interesting. Someone said that, but I'm like, I don't think they watched the whole thing. Because it's like, they said, let me guess, y'all gonna hate it. And I'm like, oh, y'all didn't watch it yet.
But people always say that about me, that I hate everything, when in fact, I'm more just, whatever. You're an idiot. Shout out to you. Yeah. Not a genius over there. And no, I don't think it was that good, though. I really say it again and again that I feel like what's her name held that together, boy, because
she did. I still liked it, but she was the main
singing scene, man. Jesus
Christ. That was garbage for me.
And that's what I mean. This movie's only an hour and a half, and that was a good 10 minutes, 15 minutes of garbage. Like, for what? And there's
to be funny for no reason. You didn't need it.
Yeah, but you didn't need it. You didn't need it. I needed some heart and some emotion. I don't need dumb jokes. And that's too much of what the MCU has relied on. Dumb jokes and needle drops instead of character and emotion. Like, and people talk about, there was the, Monica and Carol, and I just really did not feel that like that, where I was like, oh yeah, they came together. It was more like, it
was on some Dom Toretto come together. It wasn't nothing real. It was very sad.
But I feel because I mean, there's been like 12 Fast and Furious, so I feel these characters even with their ridiculousness. I did not feel that. Of them coming together. It was just like, okay, yeah, they came back together because the script said they did. I didn't feel like there was a real resolution between those characters. It was just like, okay, they came together. Yeah.
It's just we said it before. We do not have enough time with Monica. We did not have enough time with Monica. They don't. There's not enough time for Monica to even go into her feelings about all that other stuff. It's just like, well, now we need you to just be friends and keep it pushing so we can have some more fight scenes together. Like,
yeah. And these fight scenes were just mid to me, and I'll say that again. And
I like the fight scene, so that's also
is a thing, but it's like, do I want to see it again and be like amazed? No. Was there a moment like of Winter Soldier when Winter Soldier's flipping that goddamn knife, and I can watch that shit over and over again? A 2-second shot of him flipping a knife. It's not even something simple, but it's so incredible because it's the time you took to learn to do that, and just to really care about this and really put effort into it. And I don't feel like that was done here. I feel like it was just like, oh, okay, got some cool little power flips. There was that one shot with the hammer. I like that, but overall, it was that was mid. And you could have hired stunt team, hired somebody better. If you're not the director for that, then get someone who can. Mid.
But what about Loki?
Same. Like,
I miss my nigga Loki.
I can't believe they left me with so many unanswered, like not even unanswered, like it's questions that I feel like they didn't have the answer. Yeah,
it was just loose ends.
Like they didn't have the answers for. It's not
you
even
ain't got the answers, Sway.
Yeah, and it ain't even like it's not like we're leaving these open for the next team. It's like well.
We don't know how to fix this mess we put ourselves.
Yes, and no one is gonna really go back to these people anyway, so fuck it. That's what it felt like. It felt like, and it wasn't on the level of Thor: Love and Thunder where I felt like it was actively insulting my intelligence.
Right.
But it was more like, well, there should be something else in 5 weeks, and you're not gonna be able to think about this. And that's how I really felt it was. It was just more like, don't look too closely. And I swear it might be like the Moonlight Cat, where they might come out over this and be like, you need to watch this twice to really understand it. And I'm gonna be like, no, you don't.
No, and I get appalled when people say shit like that, like, oh, you just didn't get it, and da da da. I'm like,
no, nah, fam.
A good story does not mean I need to fucking watch that shit 5, 12 times to. That's not a good story.
You should want to watch it. It was like when I finished.
Don't want right.
Yeah, like the first time I ever saw The Usual Suspects, I finished it. I sat there and was like, oh, rewind that shit. I mean, literally like that. Or even something. Let's talk about something not even mystery. The first time I ever saw Good Will Hunting, I watched it one night on DVD. Went to sleep. Woke up the next morning, was like, fuck that. Play that shit again. The first time I ever saw Unforgiven by Clint Eastwood, I went and saw it in theater, called my boys up the next day, like, yo, come on. We going to see this shit again.
Yeah.
Or just now, Across the Spider-Verse. I saw it twice in 12 hours. I was not disappointed either time. I was so happy that I was getting to go see that shit again 12 hours later. You know what I mean? I was so hyped that, yes, I'm going to get to see this brilliant piece of work right here 12 hours later. I don't ever want to see this season of Loki again. It ain't that, fam.
So
you know
much
what I
for
mean?
key lime pie.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Fucking wasting my fucking time. Jesus Christ.
Sorry, Ben. Yeah.
Disrespect is real out here.
I think we said everything we could say.
That's everything we could say.
It's like I don't want to. I'm also tempering. I'm trying to temper, but god damn it, y'all making.
I mean, look, we said the good things. It looks beautiful. Tom, Owen,
but shit
amazing.
Was still fucking entertaining. Mostly
still because of them. I was talking to one of my best friends last night. He's been listening to the show. Shout out to my brother Zev. That's my brother. Shout out to you. Love you, Bram. Love you, fam. And we both agreed if they weren't in it, it's a hot mess. Like, it's a hot mess.
But there's no draw to it without that.
Yeah, there's no draw because it had no story, no characters to attach yourself to. And that's what I mean. If you had great characters, it wouldn't matter who's acting them out. It helps that these brilliant actors are doing it. But if you have great characters, you can take an unknown actor and they're suddenly can become one of your favorite actors because you're going to be like, yo, that they played that role. You know what I mean? Fucking Cameron. I'm watching Paid in Full the other night, and I still hate Cameron to this day. Because of that motherfucker, because he played the shit out of, that strum bag. So, you have a great character, a semi-actor like Cameron can kill it because he knew, this is the role right here. I got to eat this shit. It's fucking amazing role.
Yeah. I agreed with the chat. Caitlin, season 2 can be pruned. I agree.
Disrespectful. My time can't be pruned.
I agree. I'm so sorry, Loki.
I'm so like, yeah. Like, it is funny because, we had a whole Views from the 616. We dedicated a lot of time to Marvel, and it started to feel like, yo, fuck y'all. No, I mean, no disrespect, but all disrespect. You know what I mean? Like, y'all really have wasted a lot of my time. And Jesus, fam, like.
Well, see you guys next week on another episode of ForAllNerds.
I mean, we got Echo coming up. It ain't like I ain't gonna watch it. I'm hyped for What If. I can't lie, because What If
it's amazing.
What If season 1 was pretty entertaining to me, so I'm hyped for that. And I know they've already said, oh, with Echo you don't need to watch everything else, but it's not about that. I already watched everything else. I just want you to tell me a good story while I'm watching this one.
That's
simple.
it.
He can't keep getting away with this. All right, y'all. Yo, as you see, we are live right now on twitch.tv/ForAllNerds. I mean, this has been years in the making, but we finally have the technology. We've got everything together. Everything is smooth. As you see, we just did this shit for a straight hour. We live. It's beautiful. Everything's shiny. You can hear us. You can see us. We're clear as day. So there will be much more live shows from ForAllNerds. Trust and believe. We're trying to figure out ways to do these live shows. Like, what could we, sit here together and perhaps watch, and then, we could comment on it together as we watch it. We're trying to figure out a lot of different ways to do this, to bring y'all this, we don't say Bonton over anymore, bring these different podcasts, bring these different shows, bring this different flavor to your ears and eyes out there. So, let us know, what else we could do. I'm not even sure how we could do a watch. I guess if we played it on the Zoom, we could both see it.
What you mean, over Zoom? Over
Twitch?
Yeah,
like right now, like if I played something in Zoom, we could both see it in our Zoom.
Yeah.
And then that way, they would see it. Yeah, that would work.
And we get shut down immediately.
Yeah, but no, there's certain things like YouTube, things of that nature we could watch. Things that are on YouTube, it's like that. Yeah. That's how we could get away with it.
True.
Yeah.
So anything worth watching on YouTube, but we'll figure it out.
I mean, shit, man. One night on Twitch, this was years ago during the pandemic, somebody recommended it to me, and we watched, shout out to Quiet Storm Bar, I remember they were up in there that night, and we watched this wild-ass vampire movie. It's some black vampire movie. It's allegedly a classic. It is one of the weirdest, wildest shit I've ever seen, but it had nudity, all kind of shit going on in this movie. I mean, full frontal on YouTube. No problem.
By the way, everyone was mentioning Discord as a platform to like do that watch with everybody. We have a Discord. We haven't used it much,
no, we don't.
But we have it. We've been at it. So
I don't know how that would work either. I don't even know how that works. Like, would we put our Twitch in the Discord? Like, y'all asking a lot, fam. We are just figuring out Twitch over here. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. We'll figure that out. But
yeah,
like I say, we will be doing more live shows one way or the other. We'll definitely be doing our regular, live show live. So we'll be doing a lot of things out here. And I'm definitely DJing more on there. I'm not gaming, man. I finished Spider-Man. Oh, yeah, we can talk about that real quick. I finished Spider-Man. It's cool. It's still one of the greatest games ever made, series.
Yeah.
I just thought this story did not live up, to the stories of Miles and the first one. But there was a lot of twists and turns. It's still, look, I'm going to be playing the rest of it for, there's still mad missions I got to do. People are talking about how some of the side missions will hit you in the heart. There's this one mission where you got to find this granddad in the park, and it's, a little thing, and it hurt me. I can't lie. That got me. You know what I mean? So there's probably still some more little, and it's a little, 10-minute side mission that really got me. That, it tells stories. Like, immediately I latched onto these two characters. Is this granddaughter trying to find her granddad. She can't find him. When you find out why he's missing, it would fucking break your heart. You know what I mean? So, and you find him and everything's all right. But when you find out why he was, lost in the park, it's like, oh, damn it, y'all.
And the feels.
Yeah, so it does have its moments. And I've heard that some of these other side missions that are a bit longer that I haven't even gotten to are just as good. So, it's still one of the greatest games ever made. Swinging through Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Queens will never get boring. Fucking amazing, y'all. Jesus. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. See, somebody was talking about the pigeon. I haven't done that one yet. But people have been talking about
do them side quests.
I know. People have been talking about Howard's Pigeons. I got it on the list. I might do that tonight. People have been talking about that joint. So, yeah. I know. All right, but yeah. So, we'll be doing a lot more. I'm not going to be gaming on there, though, because it's just too much investment, and I can't do it. I'm not going to lie to y'all.
Gaming's a time commitment.
Oh, especially on Twitch, where you got to sit there, and I don't game that long, man. And when I do game, I just want to enjoy myself and not, be on. So, but I will DJ more. We will be doing more live shows. So twitch.tv/ForAllNerds, twitch.tv/DJ Ben. Please make sure you follow me on Twitch as well. I need to get my numbers up. I'm about to start releasing some music, so I need them numbers. So twitch.tv/DJ Ben. Oh, yeah. Please go pre-order Hendrix Purple Haze.
Yes, please.
From Amazon, anywhere else, from your local comic book shop. Shout out to Anyone Comics. Shout out to my brother Dimitri over there. If you're in Brooklyn, please go buy Anyone Comics. Immediately, go buy some books. Go buy anything. Go say what up to them.
Support.
If you
seriously,
worldwide. They'll ship to you. You know, if you don't have a local comic book shop, hit up Anyone Comics right now. Please do that. And while you're doing that, pre-order Hendrix Purple Haze. I finally got to see the whole book colored, every page colored. Y'all don't understand. Like I was fighting tears. I got through like a quarter of it and I had to put it down. You know what I mean? I got through a quarter of it. I had to put it down for hours. Like I didn't come back to it for hours because I was so like Tom Maindre did the art, and I don't have the colorist's name right now, but I'm gonna start blowing him up on everything so y'all will know and everyone will know. And it's sick, man. It's just like to see what me and Mello wrote translated into the medium is so crazy to me. And it's like there's little details I see. The colorist has brought out so much shit that I never even saw in Tom's art before, you know, the colors were applied. And man, I just can't wait for you to read this. I'm really, really super proud of what we did. Like, I really believe we've told a really beautiful story with some really beautiful characters that really go on journeys. There's several characters, have several arcs, and I really want y'all to buy this book because I really want to tell more stories in this universe. Like, seeing the colored version, I thought I did before, but now I know I really want to tell some more stories in this universe we've created. So Hendrix Purple Haze from Titan Publishing, please go pre-order. It means the world to pre-order. We're on track to debut at San Diego Comic-Con next year, which is also mind-blowing to me because it's my first time being at San Diego Comic-Con. And I'm going to be there signing this fucking book, which means the world to me. So, Tatiana's to be right there.
I'm so proud of you.
And Tom, you know.
I'll make you cry in front of Tom.
Man. I can't, y'all. Like, I'm telling you, seeing those color pages, the next step is to see the lettered pages. And then I don't know what I'll do when I finally get one in my hands. Like, when I have that hardcover in my hands, I might fucking shit myself, you know, like, Lord have mercy. So, yeah, please pre-order Hendrix Purple Haze. Lock it down. I know you know this feeling because you've done many a book. So you already know how it is. This is my first book. So I'm going through all these, you know, the first time ever doing this shit. So it's fucking crazy. So, yeah. Whew. All right. That's it, y'all. I think that's about it. We're going to be out of here. Like I said before, make sure you follow us, twitch.tv/ForAllNerds. Make sure you follow me on all the different socials at DJ Ben. I mean, I've actually been doing more threads lately. That seems to be the one for me right now. I see you on
threads now, yeah.
Yeah. I don't like how it looks visually, but whatever, you know. I like
put it on dark mode. Make sure it's on dark mode.
Yeah, maybe that'll help because I do it on light mode. That might help. I don't know about the spill anymore. I don't know about the blue sky. I'm on Instagram. We all on Instagram. Whatever. Socials at DJ Ben. At Tatiana King. At ForAllNerds on everything. Make sure you hit that follow. Thank y'all so much. It's been a blast doing this live. Shout out to everybody in the comments.
ForAllNerds.com.
ForAllNerds.com.
So
you can get the dope merch. We got the variants joint, which is stupid dope fresh, as they say. What you rocking over there?
Would you like to fuck around and find out, Miss Minutes?
My weed dealer saw me in that the other day. Was like, immediately went to ForAllNerds.com and bought one. Straight up.
Weed dealer.
Look, shout out to. I'm not gonna put him on blast, and I just called him a weed dealer. But you know, that's my man's. But you know, I'm not gonna say his name now because I just called him a weed dealer.
No.
You know,
clock is hot. Damn.
Yeah. Hey, we out here. We put people on blast today, Loki. So yeah. With that, we out. Love y'all.
Love
Peace.
y'all. Hey, what's up, internets and the fam? This is Tatiana King for ForAllNerds, and I want to thank you so much for listening and watching the ForAllNerds. Make sure you like and subscribe to us only on YouTube.